Let's be honest, it's so simple to pull out the dried pasta from the package off the shelf in the pantry, but I'm told it's not that much more difficult to actually make your own pasta if you know how to do it with the right recipe. We're going to learn one of those with Chef Laura this morning from Celebrated Cuisine, teaching us how to make pasta from scratch. Now, I want to say maybe I've done it once on the show a long time ago, and I've never tried it at home.
Okay, well, if you've done it once, you can do it forever. It's
but
like
I don't think I remember it.
Well, I'm going to show you what to do. So basically, we're going to start with this little pile of semolina flour, which is part of a hard durum wheat, and we're going to end up going from there, drying it out, to here in the bowl, all nice and yummy with some tomatoes and some basil.
It looks really healthy, and it looks light, like just really light.
It is a little bit lighter, I think, because of the type of flour that we use instead of using an all-purpose flour. So a few years ago, I went to Italy with my mom and my daughter, my oldest daughter, and we spent an afternoon in a farmhouse cooking with an Italian chef. How much fun was that? So we made pasta by hand, exactly what we did. What I have is 2/3 of a cup of semolina flour combined with a little bit of kosher salt, and I'm going to add an egg to it, 1 large egg, and just a tiny bit of water, okay? And this is the part where you really get to feel how tactile cooking is. And it looks really gross for the first few seconds or so, but as you can see, as the semolina flour gets moister, it all starts to come together. And basically what you want to do is just pull all your flour together into this nice ball. Let me add a little more water.
So as it look a little piecey, you're going to add a little bit more.
Just a little bit, because what you don't want is something that's so wet that it starts to fall apart when you put it through the pasta maker. And the really neat thing about making your own pasta is that if you made the dough first and then put it into the bag to rest, which is what I'm going to show you how to do, and then once you finish doing that, put a pot of water on to boil, you could literally make pasta from scratch all the way through by the time the water has come to boil. You could have it rolled out and ready to go. Really? Yep, really. So basically, this is all you need to do is pull it together so it forms a nice ball, and then you just, a few minutes, which now gives it a little bit of give.
Let me ask you, is there any additional health benefit to doing it ourselves? Can we kind of infuse it with different flavors or different healthy things?
You can
or
infuse
is
it
it
with
just
flavor.
purely just because it's from scratch and it's better that way?
Well, you know, anything that you make at home is going to taste a little bit better, I think. You know, I was talking to someone earlier, and you kind of put a little bit of love into it.
Right,
and
right.
That definitely comes out at the other end.
Yeah.
But also you can infuse it with different flavors. You can color it if you want to. You can add some beet juice if you want. You could puree some spinach and add it to make it green and have a spinach flavor. And as far as the health benefit is concerned, it's more along the lines of the type of flour that you're using, because you are using an unprocessed flour. So that's always a good thing too. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little bit messy, but here's the fun part, okay, the rolling of it out on the pasta machine.
Now, how long did you keep it in there to make it like that?
About 20 minutes. Okay. Okay, you want to seal up the bag and just let that rest.
Could we leave it in the fridge all day, or?
You could, and just put it on the counter about 20 minutes before you want to use it, so it's a little more malleable. Now, the trick here, though, is when you're rolling your pasta out, is not to try to roll too much at one time, because not only will it become difficult to do, but you're going to end up with these long strands of fettuccine or whatever, and it's just going to be a little difficult to work with.
And you said you can get these, you can get them at the fine, you know, what do you call them, like kitchen stores and stuff.
But you can also,
and things like the...
Sure, Sweet Basil here in town sells them. You can find them in a lot of locations, and then you can pick them up at garage sales as well, because them as wedding gifts, and they don't know what to do with them.
That is because they have not watched Sonora Living yet.
See, but today we'll fix that. So what I do is I flatten this into a little round disc, and I have my pasta maker at 1. And what I'm going to ask you to do is roll it, and speed is king, so just roll quickly.
Roll quickly.
There you go. It's going to come right out the other end, and then we just fold it in half. And only on number 1 do we go 3 times. So go ahead, do it again. Okay. And we're going to do it one more time, because 3 times the charm.
If I hold this, will it stop rolling? No.
Yep, there you go. Good. Okay, so now that we've done it on 1, we don't ever flip it over again. We now go to 2, and I'm going to switch sides with you. Okay. Because it'll be a little easier for you to roll. Now go ahead and roll.
Roll? Oh.
Roll.
Now I got to roll with my left hand.
Go ahead. There you go. I got it. Okay. And then go to 3, and we're just going to flip through this real quick.
Now, why are we going to the different numbers?
What we're doing is we're making this thinner and thinner.
Okay.
Okay, because we don't want to eat a thick piece of pasta that wouldn't taste very good.
And now, why do you have to do it so fast?
Because when you go slowly, what happens is the pasta starts to shred. There we go. And
so you kind of need in the kitchen with you when you do this.
You can the first time especially, and this is a great activity also to give your kids to do. They love doing this.
So we went through what, about 5 times?
We went through 6 times, and now we're on our fettuccine maker, and so I'm going to ask you to roll the opposite direction. Actually, we'll trade sides one more time, because this is a well-choreographed ballet. Okay, go for it.
Okay, this way, right?
Go ahead. There you go. Nope.
Oh, this way.
Roll towards me. There you go. Perfect. And it comes out the other end just like that. And we put this on our drying rack. And then after this has been on the drying rack for just even a few minutes, that's fine. We're going to take these. What's really cool about the drying rack, you can actually just pick up the noodles that are sitting on here and feel how dried out those are.
Yeah, no, I felt when we...
Okay, and we're going to put them right over here in the pot of boiling water. Now here's the trick about boiling pasta. You always want to have a ton of water in the pot, more water than you have pasta, so that the pasta actually has room to bounce around as it absorbs the water.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't, that's when it starts to stick together. Okay, so you don't even need to add oil to your pot, you just want to have a copious amount of salt.
Well, our finished product, we just sauteed a little bit of, looks like garlic and tomatoes, and we here, and this is what it looks like in the end.
And
beautiful.
It's delicious. So this is our pasta all'uovo, which is an egg-based.
I'll let you say that one.